What's up, everybody? I'm back with another tool deals video, and today I'm going to be reviewing multi-tools. So, first up, this is a multi-tool. This is a multi-tool. These are also multi-tools, but are they though? They're not. These are oscillating tools. You know why? Because when you flip the switch, if there was a battery in here, this blade or this mechanism right here, it does this. It oscillates. Oscillating tool. Right? Same thing here. Flip this switch. This is going to oscillate. Whoa, 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 like this. So they're oscillating tools. Why do people call these multi-tools? I don't know. Please, somebody let me know in the comments. These are called multi-tools. You know why? Because, hold on. When you open them up, there are multiple tools in one. Multi-tool. And today I'm going to be basically comparing this from the now defunct Orscheln to this Vevor that is unbranded on the outside, looking quite generic, but you'll see all its holy goodness when we open it up. And we're going to also go online and talk about other ones and their prices compared to this Vevor right here. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to go ahead and open this bad boy up. Now, as you can see, which is kind of weird because the carpet kind of blends in with these things. Now, as you can see, this one got a lot going on with it, okay? Got a lot going on with it. And this Orscheln is pretty, a basic, albeit very cute. It's a basic multi-tool here. So you have 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to count because different things have multiple uses sometimes. You have your file, saw. Basically, you're going to find screwdrivers, knives, things of that nature, wire cutters, pliers. Those are what you're going to find in your basic multi-tool. Now, this Vevor was interesting to me. You guys know, if you hadn't known, I'm sponsored by Vevor to an extent. They don't pay me, but I can choose certain tools I think that you guys might like, and I'll review them, and I'll let you know what I think about them, honest opinion. This thing is very sharp, so I need to be careful. I should start using that blade. I generally use... Where's the blade? Jeez Louise. I don't use this blade right here. But anyway, and this is also very sharp. Opening packages is better than the Milwaukee Fastback with this thing. I just walk around with this in my pocket around the house. These scissors work great. Anyway, we see it has a lot more going on. And the thing that really attracted me to it, they both have their cases. This one came with the Orscheln. And this is what attracted me to this. And the fact that there was a holder for it in the case. And you can see the case is much smaller than this one. Likely because it's nylon. But it has a little pocket for these extra bits. And then a pocket for the multi-tool itself with a nice stretchy size to make sure it stays locked in place. Now, let's go through some of the things that you won't generally see on a multi-tool that's inexpensive. So I'm going to pause it real quick. I'm going to close up all the main things and then show you the cool, unique features. So here we are. Obviously, we have pliers, but let's talk about the pliers real quick. So on the Orscheln, we have pliers. We have pliers, and we have some wire cutters at the base. Now, if we look at the Vevor, at first glance, it just kind of seems like the pliers might be a little cheap because they have this screw in them and the blades. Well, that's there because when these dull out, you can replace them. So they have replaceable blades. So you don't have to just throw the multi-tool away and buy a new one. Whereas this is, basically a throwaway multi-tool. We'll get back to the plier section in a second. But let's go over here and let's talk about this can opener. So when I was reviewing the pressure cooker, I had to open up a can of cranberries and realized very quickly, I don't have a can opener. And I was very upset about that. And I refused to drive to the store, but then realized, let me grab this because there's a can opener on this. So I used that. Let's close these other things up. So I use this can opener, and as you can see, they look very, very different. Hold on. So you see how this extends all the way up, but it's very difficult to do. And I don't want to cut myself. This tip is sharp. I don't want to cut myself. And this doesn't lock into place, unfortunately. You just push it up and then push it back down with all your might and try not to die. Whereas this one, this easily slides up and locks into place. When you want to put it down, you just push this little button and then it releases it and then you push it down. Now, I want to just show you the difference between the two. You see this difference here. What on earth was I talking about? That was a wire stripper. Anyway, here's the can opener. So they're a little similar, but you see this curves around, has a nicer curve, which will help with getting opening up bottle caps, right? And then also clamping down on the lip of the can a little bit better than this. This does a great job though, and it punctures the can perfectly. The problem with this though is, if you can see, this is just one. This is thick, right? You see this just on this side. And okay, just look at it. You see what I'm talking about. And then when we look at this one, this does not carry the same thickness. You see on this side, it kind of angles down, but on this side, it doesn't. Okay. Now, there's a reason why that's better, because when you puncture the can, this, if in the right situation, I didn't actually get to practice this. I'm making this video a little bit premature, but you can pull this and it'll cut the can. This is not made like that. You just have to keep puncturing. Just puncture all around and puncture all around. And then when you have little gaps in between it, you puncture those and then you pry a can up, and it takes a long time. But this, you can puncture and slide around because there's this groove that, see, it slides down this angle, then there's a slight angle there to still cut along the can. Very well thought out. Love that. Moving on, spent too much time. These have scissors. Now, again, when you want to put this down, you just push this button, and I can do it with one hand. Boom. And it releases it. So all the locks in place when you put them up. And this one doesn't do that. Only on certain things. Like this blade, it does it. And then on saw, it does it. But the ones in the middle, it doesn't do it. Let me close these up so I don't hurt myself. But on this, it locks everything in place. Now, this also has scissors. Now, a good multi-tool is going to have spring-loaded scissors. So let's go ahead and demonstrate that real quick. All right, so we have everything closed up. And this is now some of them will have scissors, but this is how they cut. You got to do this, right? The higher end ones are going to have spring-loaded scissors. Now, here's the way you do this one. You got to make sure everything's locked in place. You're going to take this handle, push it all the way. All right? And make sure it's taut. Just push it. You hear that? Once you hear it do that, now it's locked in place. This little lip has lifted up, and now it's locked in place, and you can't push it back down. And then this is your tensioner. It's going to shift to the right. And now you have a spring-loaded pair of scissors. And when you want to drop it, you just do this. Push this down, boop, and then close it up. And it's back in there. I'm doing all this with one hand. That's also a sign of a good multi-tool. You can operate it with one hand. Now let's get into some other features. Very easily, we see right here on the side, this is something you don't see often. It is a wrench. So you have, difficult to focus here, 10 millimeter, 14 millimeter, 7 millimeter, and 8 millimeter. I went out of order. But yeah, there you go. You have a wrench. I tested it out. Works really good. Works good on either way, but really, and you can't really tell, but this is slightly recessed. It's like slightly recessed. So when you put it on the bolt or whatever, or nut on this side, it won't go all the way through. So there's a slight recess that will prevent it from going all the way through, and then you just go ahead and turn it. Bam! Moving on to the next thing. All right, so we have our nice Phillips here. Most multi-tools have that, and they'll have another flathead somewhere, which this has on this end, but we have to close it up. Hold on. And so you can see me pulling them out. All right. We have a flathead. We have two of them here and then here. But we also have all types of bits over here. So what we do is pull this out, this adapter, and you see it has a little square there. And we're going to put it on top of this. And it's magnetic. With a lot of effort, a lot of shaking, it'll come off though. Wait, let's do this. I want to show you how much. Okay, whatever. All right. And then you can take your pick of what you need. You need a bigger Phillips. Go ahead and pop that thing there again. It's magnetic, and there we go. That much shaking, but you shouldn't be doing all that shaking. So you can see it's actually quite sturdy, even though it doesn't feel like it when you put it on there. So that's another feature, and this is what I was trying to find. I was trying to find other multi-tools that had this whole setup along with a carrying case and spring-loaded scissors and all these extra goodies that locked into place for safety. Even this locks into place for safety. And again, you put it down, you do this. I can do it all with one hand. Boom. One hand and it's down. Boom. And again, a good one you can operate with one hand. So anyway, how much do you think this costs? Because all the other ones, I found another off-brand one that had no name, and it looked just like this. And I imagine that's probably what Vevor is doing. They buy them in bulk, and then they, brand them. But you know how much that one costs? $49. This one right here, $28. $28. And if you want any other one that doesn't look just like this, they're all like, close to $100. And so, and the only other company I saw that had reasonably priced ones that weren't full blown out of the pocket was a company called Rocktall. But again, they were almost double the price as this for similar features. Now, it's not all rainbows and sunshine with this thing. Here's the only thing that I don't like about it. So on this blade, pull this blade out with one hand, and this thing is super sharp. Super sharp. This is not finished nicely, in my opinion. Let's see if we get this autofocus locked. Hopefully you can see that. It's not finished very nicely inside of there. It's rough. That's the only negative I have about this multi-tool, that it's rough. But it hasn't really bothered me. I mean, if you rub your finger across it, it's not going to feel good. But when you're opening it up, you basically just stick it in there and you can move it around and you open it up just fine, and it's not an issue. But this is very sharp. It cuts through packages, cuts through tape, cuts through all types of things very, very well. And this is also replaceable. Most of the things on this thing is replaceable, as you can see with these little hex star adapters. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to show you guys this video comparing that and then talking about that, asking y'all why people call that. This video is super long now. So anyway, if you like to buy this, I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description, but I'll just talk about it in regular videos. I just wanted to show you guys like what makes some of the things that make a really good multi-tool if you were looking for one. Also, weight is a big thing. This is made of a lot of aluminum, it feels like. Or I don't know, it's probably stainless because it doesn't rust. Well, you can't have issues with rusting, so you don't want to get these wet and then close them up. You want to dry them off and all that. It comes lubricated. The scissors were lubricated. But this is pretty light. This is also light. This is a little bit lighter than this. This is like, I want to say an ounce lighter, but it has a lot less functionality. So this is super light for what it is. Compact little carrying case. By the way, this is everything wrapped up in it nicely in their little cases. There you go. Easy to close. This, not so much. Oh, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't bad at all. And the way that they connect, so I don't know if this snaps. So this doesn't snap. This just, you just put your belt through that. Same here. You put your belt through this, and they ain't going nowhere. I like it a lot. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful. See you guys next time.